And then I was hoping and praying practically the whole night. I left, my sister was in another city, also in Czechoslovakia. And I wrote her a letter that I'm going to a work camp. I didn't know they're gonna, I thought just in this town they're taking some young people, but they're not gonna take them from every town. And I was hoping and praying the whole night that she wouldn't come, that somehow she's gonna save herself and maybe find out what's going on and she's gonna escape it. But 3 days later, she came into the camp too. And then before she came, we already, as Heather said, we had tattooed on our arms. I have my, a friendly doctor once offered to remove it, so I don't have mine. The doctor that removed the number asked me, when I came in, he did some surgery for my husband, and I was in his office, and he said, how come you have that number and still on your arm? I said, well, I didn't give it much thought. I have it for so many years, and it's sort of part of me. And then I told him, well, you have to go to the hospital, and you have to have surgery, and it costs money too. He said, well, you don't have to have any money. If you want it removed, I would be glad to do it for free, he said to me. I said, why would you do that? For free, I said to him. He said, oh yes, and it's not going to do much time, 2 hours, that's all it's going to take in the hospital. He said, because I wasn't in Auschwitz and you were. So he made me cry then, and I was going to cry now too. I was hoping I won't, but I always do. But anyway, we're going over something else. I'm telling too much stories about this one. Here in Nagaras. Well, anyway, my sister came the 3 days later, and when I picked her up, she went through the whole thing too, and she was very hungry too when she came in. And by that time, I was out of that block 5, I was on block 10, and I didn't know where the newcomers are going to go, but I stood there and waited for 3 days. I went every day after roll call. The work started already with waking us up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the 4 o'clock in the morning for roll call was lasting for 3 years and 41 days. Always 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 hours roll call, rain or shine or frost or snow or whatever, in the same clothes too. And so I went when my sister came, I asked the block elder, which was assigned to be in charge of the block, if I could get my sister in the same block with me, and because she was terrified and she's the youngest in the family. So the baby of the family, so I was sort of trying to protect her. And we gathered in and we were talking at night that when she was exhausted, they were lying on those beds. They had bunk beds then. And I thought it was very bad because it was just a straw, some straw in a burlap, and we're lying down. And from home to this, that was very bad, but it got worse later. But anyway, she was lying next to me, and then I decided, I told her, we're going to survive somehow, I said to her. And because she's the youngest baby, Mom always made me promise when I took her out and we went to play, and take care of the little one. I was the big one. I'm only 5 feet 2, but I was at that time the big one, and she was the little one. Take care of the sister. I took it very seriously, and I sat in camp and was sitting there miserable on those straw mattresses. I said to her, well, just wait and see. We're going to survive, and Mom and Dad are going to survive. And when we come home, the door is going to open, Mom's going to come outside, and I'm going to say, here, Mom, I see I brought your baby back. And I sort of lived by that dream for a long time. Now I'm supposed to go by rules where to go.
There's so much to tell. We have
yes,
to,
I don't know where to start.
it.
Yeah, and when I get carried away, I could tell the whole story, but you don't have time to listen to the whole thing, and I can't stay here the whole night.
It took me 3 months. I don't think everybody's got 3 months.